Shawn Williams here in Suite 609 for the Dallas South News Micro Show. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Dallas Mayoral candidate Edward Opka. And he told me the K is silent, so everyone should remember that. And I wanted to first say thank you for stopping by.
Well, thank you, Shawn. I've always enjoyed talking with you about community issues, politics, global, or whatever the subject is.
Yeah, and for a man like yourself who knows so many things about international issues in Dallas, it seems like there's been an effort to make this a three-candidate race. Yeah. But I think that now you're letting people know about your candidacy. Why do you think that there's been a tendency to kind of leave you out before, but now you're getting your say?
Well, you know, one of the media said that Edward is the smartest candidate in this race, and I mean, with such a comment, it obvious that, you know, that maybe there's some more motive to keep people from knowing or hearing what I have to say. But, you know, like when you believe in yourself, I mean, you have to keep pushing. I recognize the limitation that I have being born in another country, but but those limitations don't define me. It is what I need to do that defines me, the service. And then so now, you know, I'm a candidate. I get invited to all the forums, and then you know, people are beginning to say, "Wow, he knows what he's talking about," and probably he's the one that's going to make Dallas whole.
So you've been out on the campaign trail now, and what are you hearing from voters, from Dallas residents, as the major concerns that they're looking for candidates to address?
Well, the biggest issue, Shawn, you know, is South Dallas. I mean, the southern sector. And I mean, I told you earlier, the leadership of this city has acted like a river with a dam. And that dam is I-30. Anything south of that, I mean, of course, we have some good things south of that. But if you're looking at 500,000 people in that sector, can you imagine a city in the U.S. that 500,000 people and they don't have sit-down restaurants, no movie theater, no office Kinkos, no good. I mean,
I can imagine because I live there, so I know you're exactly right.
It's the same. Right. But so if Dallas were to be, South Dallas were to be a city of its own, can you imagine a city in America that wouldn't have these basic neighborhood services? But the southern sector has been a victim of being part of a whole, and we need to really address that issue. I mean, because the southern sector wants to add to the tax base.
But we've heard candidates get into office, come to Southern Dallas, come to churches saying that they're going to focus on Southern Dallas. How does that actually happen? How can a mayor actually impact that?
Well, Shawn, here are two things. We've had mayors who have been concerned with transactions. My leadership is about transformation with a view to make the citizens recognize that this is their city. They have to invest in themselves, and investing in themselves is in their neighborhood. And then the other one is, I have a fund program that I'm going to initiate. This is going to be for Dallas. And that fund is going to create $150 million in liquid asset. And it's going to be district and zip code targeted.
Where does the money for that fund come from?
It's going to come from the people of Dallas. It's going to come from, and it will be a painless way to get this money done. I have run it through Wall Street people. I have run it through people that understand the socioeconomic issue, and they say, Edward, that is the first of its kind in the United States. And this is a fund that once it is announced, people will say, oh my God, money is finite. What makes money grow or deplete is the human factor.
So you're looking at a fund. There was a tax increase passed by the city council a few months back, and it's been positive and negatives on that. What was your position on whether or not that was something Dallas needed to do to address the budget issue?
Excuse me. Anytime, you know, the city runs out of money, you know, what do? They look for taxes, or they look at new ways, you know, fees or fines to put on the citizen. We don't need to do that. We need to address the structural, you know, challenges that exist in our budget system. You know, the way our economy has been growing is not the way the economy going forward is going to be. So we have to address that structural challenge. It doesn't matter any additional money that if you write the city of Dallas check today for 60 million or 90 million that is the deficit, you know, what is the guarantee that next year you're not going to have another deficit? So it is a bucket of water leaking at a rate of 15%. It doesn't matter, you have to constantly pour water into it at that rate or more in order to keep it full. So we have to first of all address the leak.
So how do you address the leak? How do you flood that hole?
Well, yeah, probably you have to look at some consolidation in the services, some of the departments. You have to look at the way we purchase stuff. You, Shawn, you go take a tour of the city facility, anywhere you're going to find equipment and office supplies and stuff that are just laying redundant. And those are money.
Okay.
And then you have, in economics, what is it called, the optimal use. Do you want to be at optimal or do you want to be below optimal? Oftentimes when the revenue, so you want to be slightly below optimal because that way you're not wasting. So there's a lot of redundancy in our budget and there's a lot of waste because for every dollar in municipal budget, there's 15% redundancy. So for $1 billion, that's $150 million. So if you plug that hole structurally and fall between 0 to 5%, you would have saved $100 million.